Good morning, everybody. It is Friday morning, February 24th. First thing I want to bring up is John Claude, Janine, and Riccardo Bosi did a video on Rumble that is free. It's the one that they always do on Thursdays that's available to the public. I watched about an hour of it last night. And I'm going to say I totally understand why Janine thinks so highly of Riccardo Bosi, because he is, I'm glad he's on our side. So I would say it is definitely worth the watch. I'm not even going to do Cliff Notes because it wasn't so much Cliff Notes as much as a lot of confirmation for me personally. He's coming from a different background than Janine does, and there were so many things that they agreed on or he agrees with, because I felt like, I'm like, oh my God, are they like talking to each other? Because the stuff that he said coincided with a lot of the stuff that she gets with her cards. So I appreciated the fact of having another person validate. So again, and one of the things that he talked about that was so fascinating was other colors of hats. We always talk about black hats and white hats. And he talked about in a section about around 37 minutes is when he started talking about this, about the different colors of hats, which is like the different colors of hats for the normies and kind of where they are and what kind of psychological place they have to be in before they're going to make movement. I found that information very, very valuable. So if you don't watch the whole thing, at least go to that part where he's talking about like the yellow hats and the orange hats, and it sounds like they've done a lot of studying on those people. So anyway, I highly recommend that and him, just as another validation of the stuff that we believe, that we're waiting for, whatever. The other thing, I brought this up on Telegram yesterday. I had 2 girls in my office this week with extreme back pain. One of them, she was in, and I knew something was off on Tuesday because she just wasn't her normal self. And when she was leaving, I asked her if she's okay. She's like, my back is killing me. It hurt so bad that I was having a hard time concentrating. So that was like the first one. And then my closer came in yesterday. She was the only one working yesterday. The other gal was off. And we had a lot of closings. And when she walked in the door, she was like hobbling. And I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong? And she goes, I think I threw my back out. And she was in excruciating pain all day yesterday. And we ended up having to call in some help because she was not moving fast, and she needed to be able to move fast with all the stuff we had yesterday. So that prompted me to post something on Telegram and ask if other people were having back issues. And I got several people that posted yes, they were. One ended up going to the emergency room because of some pains, extreme pains, and they couldn't find anything from an x-ray, I guess. So whatever, that might be a concern for a lot of people this week. I don't know exactly what's causing it, other than one gal described it as almost like labor or birthing pains. So I'm kind of wondering if that is something that is going on, is like the collective is birthing a new whatever. Anyway, if you've got that going on, please post in the comments. I'm interested in knowing what your situation has been and how long it lasts and whatever. So, okay, so that. One other thing I will bring up real quick is, the cross that I wear all the time. I'm always talking about it. It's always getting jacked up in my videos. Well, I came home for lunch yesterday, went in to brush my teeth before I went back, and realized my chain had broke. So it was still hanging around my neck, but my cross was gone. Now, the last time that happened, about 6 or 7 years ago, I had a little freak out session because I felt very unprotected but I was also a completely different person when that happened the first time. So when it happened this time, I have heard, and I would like your input on this, what you know about broken jewelry, but I have heard that several things. One, like if you have a bracelet or a crystal bracelet, I have heard that if it breaks, don't put it back together again. It did its job, and it absorbs negative energy. And once it's done, just be done with it and get another one. I think that's the main one, is that it did its job. And that was kind of the feeling that I had. It was like its job was to protect me, and it did its job. So I didn't freak out as bad, but I've also I looked it up online this morning and saw that like sometimes like jewelry holds certain vibrations, and if our vibrations go up, that might have been what snapped it. I'm not sure. But the good news is that cross was given to me by my mom before she passed away. So when I had that cross on all the time, it always felt like I had my mom like close to me, and I felt like I was protected. When I left, I was like not too worried about it. I was like, well, if I find it, I find it. If I don't, it's not that big of a deal. I have other forms of protection around me now. I even did a video 3 or 4 months ago about all the different things that I have in place in my apartment and in my life to protect me from bad energies. And I left, walked down the stairs, opened the door to walk outside, and right there on the left of the door was my cross. So it had been there for roughly an hour, and nobody had seen it, found it, picked it up, and I was like, wow, that was amazing that I was able to find that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and get that checked. I mean, it's broken twice, so that necklace itself might be shot and I need to get a new one that's stronger or whatever. Or if you have recommendations for that, I would appreciate that. But at least I have the cross, and that was some comfort that I still have that. And I think that's it for now. I mean, there's been a lot of other stuff that has happened. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.